Hi guys, Dajahao. Welcome back. Today we will be looking at my recommendation for what I think will be an easy build for you to use in your first week of gameplay while you think about what you want to main, while you make your way through the story, familiarize yourself with the game systems, etc. It's not a hard game for beginners in my opinion, so experienced gamers would be fine starting off with any build. But for me, I like to find an easy build when I start off on a new game. I need to be honest with you all. I am not good at gaming, except for one extremely niche area. I have some sort of built-in cheese locator for easy builds. Unlike some of you that want to immediately challenge yourselves with an exotic and creative build, I just want to survive in the easiest way possible when I'm starting a new game. That's how I began this game, that's how I begin every game. Consider my credentials in this area of first playthrough builds. World of Warcraft, Beastmaster Hunter. Baldur's Gate 3, Gloomstalker Ranger plus 2 levels of Fighter. Elden Ring, Faith Strength build. Not good on Elden Beast, just add pest threads. Lies of P, Technique build with 2 Dragon Sword, still didn't learn how to parry. So today, I bring the easiest first week build for Where Winds Meet. It is the Nameless Sword paired with the Panacea Fan. This fan is the healing weapon that will also be available on day 1 from the Oddity vendor after a brief quest. At least that's how it worked out for me on the China server. What makes this build a good starting point is that the Nameless Sword has very strong offensive power as a standalone weapon. You've got a charged range attack, a gap closer, a disengage, etc. The healing fan gives you spammable heals for great survivability and an extra ranged attack. With this build, you don't have to worry about healing flasks too much. You can also heal a friend in co-op, you can do the bosses alone, and so on. Regarding the internals, I would recommend that you choose these. Sorry that I do not know the English names of these internals yet. Hopefully the icons will be the same on international release and you'll be able to pick them out of the list that way. The first internal boosts the Nameless Sword's charge attack by giving it multiple energy waves in each attack. You want this because the attack is ridiculous and should be nerfed in PvP, by the way. The second one boosts the fan's totem-like healing. The third internal boosts the Nameless Sword's charged attacks versus bosses, which will be handy for you doing the story. The fourth internal boosts both damage and healing. This internal is something that you can use on many builds. It's a general kind of all-purpose internal. So for your armor and weapon set, just go with the recommended sets that come with the Nameless combination. You can find them in the menu when you scroll around looking at the associated items for the Nameless build. Also, don't worry about leveling up the weapons and internals. You can refund these later if you want to change builds. So now let's check out a sample rotation. Don't worry too much about the details here. I just want to show you the basics. For the first few battles, you'll probably just be spamming attacks and heals anyway, and that should work fine. So in the sample rotation, you start off with the sword and you lead with the charged attack. Then the second move is to engage the target from range and close the gap with another attack. The third move, during the recovery animation of the second move, you can click the button again to perform a follow-up attack. You can perform this follow-up 2 times. You then do a backwards dodge that includes a cleave attack as you move out of range. Move number 5, you switch weapons, switching from sword to fan. In move 6, you're basically just using your healing spells as needed. You've got a healing totem, essentially, and a heal over time with your special attacks on the fan. Move number 7, you also have a light ranged attack with the fan that is pretty useful. Alright, let's take a look at some actual gameplay examples. Alright, I was looking at this earlier trying to figure out what's wrong, and obviously it's the bow. That's what's going wrong with this. Forget everything I just said about the easiest build. The one thing you need to know about this game is never show your bow. All right, it just looks amateurish. Nobody does that. So you need to go in the settings and figure out how to deselect the visibility of your bow. This is how you do it. I'll show you real quick, and then we'll get back to trying to watch this gameplay with this hideous cosmetics. All right, so that's how you deselect the visibility of the bow. See, that doesn't that look better? All right. I look much sharper now than I did back in those days. All right. Well, let's get back to this horse thing. I don't even know why we needed to fight this horse, to be honest. I mean, I feel kind of bad about it. The animals, aside from cats, who are obviously revered, get, I don't know, pretty uneven treatment, I would say, at the very least. You know, there's only like one dog in the whole game. And bears get like thrown into rocks for no reason at all. And this horse, you know, I ain't got no beef with a horse. You know what I mean? You guys remember Radon's horse, by the way? He loved that horse. He learned gravity magic so he could keep riding even though he supersized himself. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about that freaking bow though. It looks hideous. Hey, did I ever tell you guys that story about the time I crashed the Burning Man party and I showed up and like everyone was super dressed up and I couldn't figure out why nobody was talking to me, and then eventually I realized I was the only one with the bow out. Only one bow shower in the whole party, and it was me. I looked like some kind of hillbilly coming back from a hunting expedition. Super awkward. Tried to talk to people and I don't know. There was this girl with an onion walking around and tried to say hi to her, but she just like just straight up bailed on me, man. It was embarrassing. I was like gonna go hang out with the fellas or something like that, and there's obviously like the cool guys, kind of the center of everything, and walked over to say hi to those guys, and not that guy. Yeah, this one. And he totally gave me side eye. I mean, check out the stank on that. My health bar went down to 20% just from like emotional damage. So don't be the one bow shower at the party, okay? That's the main takeaway. Don't worry about your starter build. You'll do fine. Back to this freaking horse. Yeah. I don't know. It looks like he just wants to play or something like that, you know. This wasn't really the boss fight that I signed up for. He's not even doing that much damage, you know. Yeah. Got the fan attacks, got the heals out. Probably just one last shot will do it. Yeah. He went out like a champ, but maybe he'll be okay after all. I hope so. Anyway, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.